Hello and welcome everyone, my name is Capcan and today we are looking at our best Enhancement Shaman talent tree builds for Dragonflight pre-patch. It's currently still 27th of October, which means that release of the expansion is 1 month away, and in 1 month there's definitely gonna be some changes to the talents. There wouldn't be like legendaries and other Shadowlands stuff will not be available for us when Dragonflight kicks in, which means that these builds are gonna change and we will have new videos then, so definitely subscribe to the channel if you want to see more content like this, if you want to see more commentaries, news, builds, guides, anything like that. And yeah, we're looking at info in like Wowhead. I'm gonna have a link to Wowhead article in pinned comment below the video, and I'm gonna have links to the builds provided in this post as well. About the author, this guide is written by Rusa, Surge and Word Up, longtime enhancement theory crafters and moderators in the Shaman Discord server Earthshrine. So yeah, let's go. Enhancement Shaman raid talent builds. Hot hands. So I guess like we need to see how many of them are available. So there's gonna be like 3 builds. 2 single target, I guess, and like 2 raid oriented and 1 mythic plus. Alright, let's go with hot hands. The best raid build for the Dragonflight pre-patch is not too dissimilar from the raid build used in Shadowlands Season 4. The most notable changes to the build's playstyle include replacing Crash Lightning with Ice Strike for more single target damage, using Hailstorm instead of Elemental Assault due to pathing and level constraints. Yeah, again, that's the thing as well, and being able to incorporate both Elemental Blast and Lashing Flames into the build simultaneously. This build offers the best sustained single target damage for a level 60 character that is not helpless, and is not helpless when presented with cleaving opportunities thanks to Hailstorm and Lashing Flames. There is also great flexibility with most encounter types, allowing you to drop some of the more single target oriented talents like Elemental Blast, Storm's Wrath or Wind Fury Totem depending on your raid's needs, in favor of increased AoE throughput from talents like Crash Lightning, Primordial Wave or Crashing Storms. Since this build must spend points on Witch Doctor's Ancestry to reach Elemental Spirits, it will instead prefer to wear an Elemental Shaman legendary Skybreaker Fiery Demise. And that's again all for the pre-patch info, so like don't get it twisted and don't think that these talent trees are way to go in when Dragonflight comes up. So yeah, you can check out like key talents in here. We're gonna look look through this info, but you can like get the general idea which talents are like the best, which talents you can maybe skip if you want to take something else, but now we're gonna like just look at everything. So we have Chain Lightning as our baseline stuff, then we're taking Astral Shift, so shift partially into elemental planes, taking less damage, one of our main defensive cooldowns, Lava Burst, which is just like your additional ranged ability. Earth Elemental, which is definitely a good cooldown. Wind Shear is our interrupt. Astral Bulwark, Astral Shift reduces damage taken by an additional 15%, makes Astral Shift even a much better cooldown. Capacitor Totem summons a totem that stuns enemies around its area, which is definitely gonna be quite good. Fire and Ice increases all fire and frost damage you deal by 3%. Then Ancestral Defense increases Leech and Avoidance by 2%. Windrush Totem summons a totem at the target location for 15 seconds continually, granting all allies who passed within it 10 yards 40% increased movement speed for 5 seconds. So that's for your raid to have additional mobility. Even if it's like 2 minutes cooldown, still can be very, very handy. Elemental Warding reduces all damage taken by 4%, which means more survivability. Improved Lightning Bolt increases the damage of your Lightning Bolt by 20%. Then Thunderstorm calls down Bolt of Lightning, knocks back enemies from the Shaman. That's more of a like you trying to Maybe knock back some adds, do something with mechanics of the fight. Thunder Shock. Thunderstorm knocks enemies up instead of away, and its cooldown is reduced by 5 seconds. So yeah, just like other way of this talent working. Healing Stream Totem, which is just like it's a passive heal for you or your raid members nearby. Then Swirling Currents. Using a Healing Stream Totem increases the healing of your next 3 healing surges by 25%, and then Ancestral Guidance for the next 10 seconds, 2 minutes cooldown. For the next 10 seconds, 25% of your damage and healing is converted to healing on up to 3 nearby injured party or raid members. That's a bit of like hybridization, as we can see here. If you will need some utility and healing in times of needs, you can definitely provide it with this general talent tree. And now what's left is this right part of the tree. I'm very sorry, God bless me. Of course I had to like do that. So we're going with a Storm Strike, 2% base mana cost. That's one of our like main damaging abilities. Wind Fury Weapon, that's one of our main buffs too, just like passive buffs to increase our damage. Levelash, another our significant ability. Improved Maelstrom Weapon. Maelstrom Weapon now increase the damage or healing of spells it affects by 20 per stack, which is definitely very, very powerful. Molten Assault. Levelash cooldown reduced by 6 seconds, and Levelash is used against a target affected by your Flame Shock. Flame Shock will be spread to up to 4 enemies near the target. So yeah, that's like similar talents we had before. That's just improving on your Levelash. Then we're taking Ice Strike, as it was mentioned before, to increase our single target. So again, you're dealing quite a good chunk of damage, frost damage, and snaring enemies by 50%. Ice Strike increases the damage of your next Frost Shock as again. Then we're taking Hailstorm. Each stack of Maelstrom Weapon consumed increases the damage of your next Frost Shock and causes your next Frost Shock to hit 1 additional target per Maelstrom Weapon stack consumed, up to 5. Okay, let's go with probably this part. Here is our Wind Fury Totem. Summons a totem at your feet for 2 minutes. Party members within 30 yards have a 20% chance when they main hand auto attack to swing an extra time. It's your party-wide buff. Then Swirling Maelstrom, consuming at least 2 stacks of Hailstorm, using Ice Strike, and each explosion from Fire Nova now also grants you 1 stack of Maelstrom Weapon. Then Hot Hand, melee attacks with Flame Tongue Weapon active have a 5% chance to reduce the cooldown of Levelash by 75% and increase the damage of Levelash by 40%. Further increases for your Levelash damage. Ashen Catalyst, each time Flame Shock deals periodic damage, increase the damage of your Levelash. Again, Lashing Flames, Levelash increases the damage of Flame Shock. So yeah, as you can see, it's all like, it all works one to another pretty simultaneously in synergy. Yeah, Raging Maelstrom, have we seen it? Maelstrom Weapon can now stack 5 additional times, and Maelstrom Weapon now increases the damage or healing of spells it affects by an additional 5% per stack, which is quite massive again. Sundering is your 40 seconds cooldown ability, shatters a line of earth in front of you with your main hand, causing pretty big flame strike damage and incapacitating any enemy hit by 2 seconds. Storm Wrath. Increase the chance for mastering enhanced elements to trigger Wind Fury and Stormbringer by 150%. And Elemental Blast. 1 charge, 2 seconds cast time, 12 seconds recharge. You're dealing some elemental damage to target, increasing your critical strike or haste or mastery for 10 seconds. So you're just getting pretty juicy buff. Elemental weapons increase all fire, frost, and nature damage, just generic damage increase for most of your damage types. Feral spirits summon 2 spirit wolves that aid you in battle, just damaging cooldown, one of our main ones. Witch Doctor's Ancestry, as was stated before, increases the chance to gain a stack of Maelstrom Weapon by 4%, and whenever you gain a stack of Maelstrom Weapon, the cooldown of feral spirits is reduced by 2 seconds, so more uptime on feral spirits and more Maelstrom Weapon stacks. Elemental Spirits, our final talent in here. Your feral spirits are now imbued with fire, frost, or lightning, increasing your damage dealt with that element by 20%. So yeah, that was your hot hands build. Okay, let's read let's probably read key talents here. So hot hand is vital for us, vital for tying together the far focused right side of the talent tree, provides significant windows of burst damage. Elemental spirits further enhances elemental damage sources in the build, notably Lava Lash, Elemental Blast. Elemental Blast Lava Burst with a focus on mastery enhanced elements and effects in the class and spectre, improving fire, nature, and frost damage. Elemental Blast makes for a potent spell to use Maelstrom weapon stacks on. Oh, and Lava Burst rounds it all out by granting increased flexibility with an additional charge for Elemental Blast. Wind Fury Totem should almost certainly be taken to buff the other melee in your party in raids and to improve your hot hand proc frequency. But if you happen to find yourself as the only melee or run in this build in a dungeon, consider Storm Flurry or Elemental Assault as viable options to increase Maelstrom weapon generation or pick up Crash Lightning if you need some cleave or minor AoE damage. So yeah, as you can see, Wind Fury Totem is most like optional, because if you really don't have any melees, there probably wouldn't really be anyone to buff with this skill. Then we have Totem Slam. Our build, so does this differ? Let's start with our main talent tree, with our general talent tree, which seems definitely like quite the same, right? So we're going here, we're taking the same talents here and there. Yeah, so our general talent tree stays the same. Now when it comes to our additional, so we're not taking this Lava Lash, Flames, fire oriented 3 talents in here, and we're taking Storm Flurry. Storm Strike has a chance to strike a target additional time. This effect can chain off of itself. We're taking Deeply Rooted Elements. So you're like you're casting. There's no you can you can just proc Ascendance from time to time with some chance. For 6 seconds you will transform into air, this air avatar, and you will have different additional buffs. Some of your skills will change. We're taking this one, and we're taking Static Accumulation. While Ascendance is active, generate 2 Maelstrom weapon stack every 2 seconds. And Thorim's Invocation. While Ascendance is active, Wild Strike automatically consumes up to 5 Maelstrom weapon stacks to discharge a Lightning Bolt or Chain Lightning at your enemy, whichever you most recently used. So yeah, that's what we're taking here not instead of this, but yeah, there's gonna be instead of central part of the tree where we were going in full Feral Spirit, we're going into increasing Deeply Rooted Elements, and Deeply Rooted Elements with Storm Flurry we're taking instead of all the Lava talents. Again, we're not taking, we need to I need to see everything else. So again, we're taking these talents. Forceful Winds. Wind Fury causes each successive Wind Fury attack to increase the damage of Wind Fury. And Unruly Winds. Wind Fury weapon has a 100% chance to trigger a third attack. So we're going way more into wind and some lightning elements instead of fire ones. Yeah, so we're taking these 2 talents. We haven't really taken them in here. And yeah, we're taking Overflowing Maelstrom. Your damage or healing spells will now consume up to 10 Maelstrom weapon stacks. And yeah, so -3 here, -4 here, -5, -4, no. So -7 in here with talents. And here we're taking 4, 2, and 1, 3. So yeah, that's all. Everything else stays the same. So yeah, just instead of your more fiery and wolfy oriented shaman, you're gonna have Ascendant, Wind, and Static. And it's called Totem Slam. Okay, Alright, so let's read now the description of the build. Although some of the more physical oriented builds are very competitive at level 70, the key talents that make those builds shine require more talent points than are available at level 60. And yes, so don't forget that at 70 we're gonna have additional talent points as well. Additionally, there is no build empowering conduit analogs to Magma Fist for physically focused builds. With all those caveats out of the way, this build is still somewhat competitive with the Hot Hands build described above, coming in at a few percent behind in sustained DPS. Despite that, it has the highest top end potential due to the sheer randomness of deeply rooted elements when you can become ascended. Unfortunately, those highs also come with lows, as this build has more than twice as much pull-to-pull variance as the Hot Hands build. So yeah, that's more proc-based, that's more reliable and sustained. Although the base Totem Slam build has less cleave potential than the Hot Hands build, there are options to spend points on enhancing its AoE potential. Storm's Wrath, Elemental Blast, and elemental weapons can be replaced with talents such as Crash Lightning, Sundering, Crashing Storms, and Primordial Wave. Doom Winds is the preferred legendary to equip for this build, since the version deals more damage for a longer duration on a shorter cooldown than the Doom Winds talent. This happens to make spending a point on Wind Fury mandatory. Yeah, so probably everything in here. So Wind Fury Totem required to activate the legendary version of Doom Winds, which is tied to the totem cast and not as its own ability. Feral Spirits provide a significant buff, even though we're not really increasing the power of the buff itself. Elemental Blast can be replaced if you need more AoE. Ice Strike, Hailstorm in higher target cleave, 4+ targets. Fire Nova can be an alternative to save an additional point to pick up either Gathering Storms for extra single target damage or Crushing Storms to add some additional cleave potential. And Doom Winds, the talented version of Doom Winds is being avoided in favor of Doom Winds in its legendary form, as it is significantly more powerful, saves a talent point, and no other currently available legendary is more appropriate for this build. So yeah, that's this all information is all pre-patch dedicated. Like, yeah. And then we have our last part of this builds, builds video, Enhancement Shaman Mythic Plus talent builds. Chain Blaster. This build is similar to the Hot Hands raid build discussed earlier, though it sacrifices single target DPS for as much 5-6 target AoE DPS as possible. In particular, it uses Skybreaker's Fiery Demise, so other legendary, in combination with Ventir Covenant legendary effect from Unity. I'm sorry, yeah, my voice is cracked. And Overflowing Maelstrom to frequently cast Chain Harvest with a reduced cooldown whenever AoE is present. Additionally, by talenting into Primordial Wave, this build gains additional AoE burst damage that can be quickly set up by Chain Harvest or Molten Assault. Elemental Spirits can be replaced with Alpha Wolf if you want to sacrifice even more single target performance for increased AoE damage. Although this build will produce by far the best AoE enhancement is capable of at level 60 during the right circumstances, not all dungeons are built equally and may require adjusting your talent build. For example, if you're running a dungeon like Upper Karajan with a few number of AoE packs, or Karazhan, yeah, a few number of AoE packs to speak of, you may prefer to default to a build more like the Hot Hands raid build discussed previously, with Wind Fury Totem exchanged for Crash Lightning to keep up some small level of cleave DPS. Worth noting is this build can easily swap to Necrolord by removing the point in Primordial Wave from the Covenant along with splintered elements with Unity equipped, which can then be spent on several alternatives. Deeply rooted elements or ascendants can be taken for an additional damage cooldown, Storm Flurry or Elemental Assault for more Maelstrom weapon stacks, and possibly on Ice Strike and Hailstorm instead of Fire Nova for an alternative AoE playstyle that will diversify your elemental damage types, granting more consistent value out of which dogs you happen to spawn from elemental spirits. Legendary of choice will remain Skybreakers, Fiery Demise, and Unity. So let's compare them, I guess, to our other talent trees. So first of all, our general talent tree still looks the same. Yeah, right. Yeah, general talent tree is just 100% the same in every single talent tree build. And then now, what do we have? Like, if you were to compare it to, but no, it's said that it's more similar with this one. So yeah, we're still going full right side with Lava Lash, with all the, except with Fire Nova instead of Hailstorm. Yeah, so we're having like more fire oriented AoEs in here. Yeah, we're going full fire increases, Swirling Maelstrom as well. We're not taking Ice Strike, we're not taking Wind Fury, because there's probably wouldn't be enough melee people in the party for you to like proc it, for you to like be good with taking this talent. Then we're going full center. Yeah, we're going full center, which means that we're taking Overflowing Maelstrom, we're taking Crash Lightning, which is obvious because in M+ you really need your AoEs. Are we taking Gathering Storms? No, we're not taking Gathering Storms. After Crash Lightning, we're taking Elemental Weapons. Crashing Storms here. Oh, not Gathering Storms, but Crashing Storms we're taking, yeah. Still going into Wolves. And with Primordial Wave as a finisher. So yeah, it looks way different to the raid ones, with much more changes than some of the other classes, like builds differ between single target and AoE. Key talents here. So Molten Assault allows for quick application of Flame Shock on like more than one targets, it's quite obvious. Hot Hand provides a window of significant cleave damage and allows for quick application of Flashing Flames. Crashing Storms massively improves the value of Chain Lightning and Crash Lightning. Primordial Wave, mostly preferred for additional AoE burst, can be swapped for Ascendance. It goes, yeah, here. Deeply Rooted Elements to gain some AoE damage on proc and additional some single target damage as the build, yeah. So you can swap your Primordial Wave to the either Deeply Rooted Elements or Ascendance for however you want to do. So yeah, I guess that's it for today for me. Next day there's probably gonna be quite as much videos as it was for today. Thanks for watching. Hope you're having a blast playing in pre-patch. Hope you're gonna have a blast playing Dragonflight itself. Thanks for Wowhead for the information. Every info, every link that you may need is gonna be in like a pinned comment down below. Subscribe to the channel if you want content, if you want more content, and if you like content on the channel. Have a good day and goodbye.